This is the Outdoor Journey Show, where life takes you outdoors. The Outdoor Journey Show with Matt Gaddis and Ty Morgan, brought to you by Journey Hunts and the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation.
Welcome to the Outdoor Journey Show. It's Matt Gaddis, Ty Morgan, myself here with you for another day of talking about hunting, fishing. We have so many different topics we can cover, but today it's all about the complete journey.
Yeah, one of the things we do, Ty, is we strive to tell really the complete picture, the whole story on our show here. You know, sometimes you only get bits and pieces, and there's so much attention and focus on just the kill, just the harvest.
Right.
And we want to always give people the whole picture, all the planning, all the work that goes in beforehand on any given hunt around the world, and just tell people the whole story, because I think they need to know that.
Well, I think, you know, when it comes to hunting, period, it's not a video game. You can't just sit down and turn it on and pause it when you don't want to play it anymore. It is a complete investment if you want to do it right and have successful hunts.
Absolutely. I mean, you really do. There's so much that goes into a hunt that is prior to the actual hitting the ground, whether it's here in North America for one of our big game species or around the globe. There's so much that really goes into it. There really is.
And recently, you just went on a little trip there, in fact.
Yeah, I just got back from Africa.
Around the world.
Yeah, I just got back from Africa, and it was a real unique situation. I went back again to hunt with Segment1 Hunting Safaris, who I always hunt with in South Africa, and I had a client who just got a leopard tag.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, unique scenario.
Yeah.
I mean, the tags for leopards, I know that all of those anti-hunters out there believe that leopards are near extinct and, you know, it's all going downhill. Actually, in the last 15 years in South Africa, the leopard population has tripled. The problem is it's tripled, but the tag numbers have gone down. Oh. And so it's one of the rare areas where management isn't proper in South Africa, because it usually is very proper. Their quality management is off the charts. But in leopards, for some reason, the numbers of tags have gone down, which means the cost has gone up. And this year, leopard tags were running for about $25,000.
Holy moly.
Yeah, not a cheap hunt.
That is an investment in a future of hunting if you're going to do that. So now you understand.
Yeah, well, and the good thing about that is that money does go to building the whole big picture of hunting in South Africa or whatever African country you hunt that in. So there's a lot of value in it. But next year, they're cutting the tags even further, and they're estimating that the cost will be a minimum of $35,000, maybe $40,000 for a leopard hunt.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. So I got a phone call from Sadiba on November 1st, and they called me and said, we've got a last-minute leopard tag. It's the only one still active right now in the country. Do you have a hunter? And so I reached out and put it out there through all of my clients and contacts. And Drake Lem, a good friend of mine from Montana, decided that the price was right, the timing was right, and said, let's just make it happen. Let's pull this thing off. So
those Montana boys, I tell you.
Yeah, they come through, don't they? So he decided the timing was now, even though it wasn't an ideal time for him. He really wanted to hunt one next June or July, but he's like, I can't pass this up. We were able to give him a discount because it was last minute, and it really worked out well. So that's where the journey begins. When a guy makes a decision and says, I'm going to go. I'm going to go. And now we were dealing with all kinds of difficulties. Now we're getting last-minute plane tickets, which usually means the cost is up, but it was unique. It's really in between all the key travel times to South Africa. And so we got tickets cheaper than I've ever got them. You know, we were at $1,500 for tickets to South Africa. So we found 2 good plane tickets.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You know, not a bad chunk at all there. And then on the African side, they started baiting right away because a leopard hunt usually is done at night and over bait. Impalas, warthogs, you know, you have to harvest those animals and then you hang them up into a tree. Pretty cool scenario. And so they started baiting right away, and they were baiting, I think at that time, 7 different stations, 7 different places, just trying to get on a leopard, trying to get one on. You know, I see leopard tracks almost every time I'm there. So they're around, but you don't see leopards.
Yeah.
And so it's a pretty intense situation. We started baiting. On this end, we were packing, getting everything ready, clearing our schedules, doing all the last-minute stuff that we have to do. But the journey on that end had already started. They were already chasing leopards, and they had a couple hitting baits. They had some hyenas hitting baits. If we have time, we'll tell a little story about that. But it was just, everything was on its way, and it happened fast, real fast. Unique scenario. So in addition, you know, to that leopard hunt, I hunted a sable, so I had a plan. I was going to hunt a sable. I've been trying to hunt a sable for the last, to harvest a sable the last 2 trips over there and haven't been able to get on one. So I figured if I'm there,
might as well give it a shot
might
again.
as well give it a shot again because the leopard hunting was going to be at night. So although I had failed on some previous hunts, I was eager to make that happen. So that meant more planning for me, getting my bow prepared, doing everything I needed to do for that. So we pulled it all together. And Drake flew from Missoula to Salt Lake. I flew from Grand Junction to Salt Lake, and we met up there. And that's where our journey together began as we flew from Salt Lake to Atlanta. So good scenario.
Quite the process just to get to Salt Lake, and we haven't even made it there yet.
Oh yeah. In fact, at that point, you're a long way from making it to South Africa. You know, we were a flight to Atlanta for 4 hours, and then it's that 15.5-hour flight from Atlanta to Johannesburg, which is it's a long flight. There's no doubt about it. So we arrived there, and as we arrived, Vasi Vorser, the owner of Sediba Nkwe Hunting Safaris, and his son Dries, who's the co-owner, meet us there as they always do. And then you still have a 5-hour drive on that back end to get to camp.
Oh, boy.
And so it is a long, basically 35-hour journey, you know, just to get yourself into camp. So,
and that still doesn't guarantee anything either. That's just getting there.
No. There's no guarantees, especially on a hunt like this, like on a leopard hunt. I mean, if you can't get them coming to bait, you're not going to have an opportunity.
Right.
So, you know, we landed, got there, they picked us up. We always stop at the Spur restaurant on the way there, had a good steak, met up with Vasi's wife and his daughter and her boyfriend. And, you know, it becomes a friendship with the people there I hunt with Sediba. So that's the journey. We arrived at 2 a.m. at camp, got into our rooms for much needed sleep. And I think from here, we just need to let Drake tell the story.
All right. Well, coming up here in just a moment, we are going to be chatting with Drake, and he'll tell you his version of his journey, and I'm sure it's going to be even more exciting to hear the outcome of this story. So that's coming up in our next segment right here on the Outdoor Journey Show. Don't go away.
This is the Outdoor Journey Show, where life takes you outdoors.